All right. Well, the field running for governor in Michigan is getting a bit crowded as people are throwing their hat in the ring. The latest, Tom Leonard, former Michigan House Speaker Tom Leonard, announcing Tuesday that he's running for governor. Said his campaign would focus on making Michigan a growth state where children can build their future, as well as making life more affordable for lowering taxes, reforming burdensome regulations, and empowering workers through freedom to work policies. He joins me now. Tom, welcome to the program.
Hey, my friend. Good morning. Thank you very much for having me. Happy to be here.
Nice to see you again. All right, so it's been a bit since you were on the main stage, as it were. Give the folks your background a little bit for anybody who might not be familiar, and tell them why you've decided to jump back into this thing we call politics.
Yeah, so first, let me start with the why, and then I'll get into the background. But the why is very simple, Steve. I've got three reasons, and those reasons are Hannah, Thomas, and Danny. That's my 8-year-old, my 5-year-old, and my 11-month-old. And when you look at Michigan right now, the first 2 decades of this century, the only state that was worse for population growth than Michigan was West Virginia. We're 49 out of 50 right now in unemployment, and I believe there's a good chance in the next few days when the statewide rankings come out again, we may be 50 out of 50. We have an educational crisis, we have a mental health crisis, we have a governor we've seen through the state police that's not standing with law enforcement. Frankly, I don't want my children in the next 10 to 15 years to have to leave this state for better opportunities. So that's why I'm doing it. Bit about my background, very quickly. Grew up in a small town called Montrose, just north of Flint in Genesee County. My dad was a line worker at Buick City and then later became a small business owner. Went to the University of Michigan for undergrad, Michigan State University for law school. Became a prosecutor in Flint for 3 years, best job I ever had. Did a short stint in the Attorney General's office and then ran for the state legislature. My final term served as Speaker of the House. And then you may recall in 2019, I was nominated by President Trump to be his U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Michigan. Unfortunately, that is one of the few positions that our home state senators have the opportunity to block. And after about 10 months of vetting, Senator Stabenow stepped in and blocked that nomination from going forward. So since then, I've been a partner at the
Well, that was
Puckett Cooney
nice,
Law
sir.
Firm. Yeah, yeah. And frankly, when I got the call from her office, in 2018, as you know, I ran for Attorney General, and it was the closest election that year in a very tough environment. And when her staff called me, I couldn't believe how brutally honest he was. His response was, "Listen, we had anticipated you going through, but she's under a lot of heat from the base. You were the closest statewide candidate a year ago. She can't let you proceed."
So politics, you got your head lopped off
They,
because you were
they,
honest, you had integrity, you had supportive voters, so therefore you got kicked out. All right, so now we're in this
and
race.
sadly, I was going to say, and sadly, she let 4 million people in this state go without a federal prosecutor because of politics. I'll just say that.
Of course she did. And now she's gone, and that's fine. But all right, so Gary Peters resigns from the Senate seat. That's a different story we'll get to later, but it leaves that Senate seat open. That's a big race. And then the race for governor, a big race. We've got two big races on the horizon here in Michigan, and both are going to draw attention. And I think because you have two, not one, could bring more people out to vote potentially. What are you going to bring to the governor's race, and why do you think you can win it? We've seen some of your people in the primary already get millions of dollars donated to them. It takes a lot of money to win a race like this, Tom.
Absolutely. And Steve, any race that we've ever been involved with, we've always raised the money that we need to get our message out. We're definitely going to do that. But I can tell you, nobody's going to work harder. No campaign's going to work harder. But I believe we're going to have broad appeal once we get to the general election. I was just saying this to somebody last night. I was the speaker, working with a great team and working with other great House members. We passed constitutional carry through the House. I believe that's the only time that was passed through a chamber. We passed making English the official language of the state of Michigan. But on the flip side, I was also the legislator that introduced legislation, and we got it across the finish line to expand expungements in the state of Michigan. I saw how this law was just burdening people who had made a mistake. We also got rid of driver responsibility fees. You may recall there were
No, I remember those.
350,000 people that could not get a driver's license because of
Yeah.
these ridiculous fees that our legislature had passed 20 years ago. It was a complete money grab. So when you look at that broad range of things that I've been able to accomplish on the conservative side, but also being able to go into these urban areas. I mean, in Detroit, 75,000 people couldn't get their licenses. We gave it back to them. So I know we're going to have broad appeal and a great message once we get through this primary.
All right. So and so you think you win this? What kind of money do you think it's going to take? I mean, just off the top of your head, to win all the way through, not just the primary. I think
Oh,
it's going
goodness.
to be
This
north of
is
$10 million.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think even to get through the I mean I'm talking about the general election here. This is probably going to be at least a 50 to 60 million dollar race for the
50
next
to 60
gubernatorial
million
candidate.
dollars.
I
50 to 60
I
million
believe
dollars.
they may have to. When you look at this race in Georgia, those are going to be the two most expensive, I believe, that this country is going to be seeing this year. And then when you throw in that Senate race, it's just going to drive up the cost. So I believe, yeah, it could be upwards to 50 to 60 million to get through the general election.
Yeah. All right. So I don't even know how many people are in this horse race to be the nominee for the Republicans for governor, but I wish you well. I know the field is getting more crowded. What's your next stop? We got about 30 seconds. If people want to know more about you, Tom, where do they go?
We've got a rally or excuse me, we've got a rally tonight in Montrose. Tom for Michigan is our website. They can go there, can check it out. We've got a whole list of issues. And if you want to go to Montrose, the Montrose Orchards tonight, we'd love to see you at our rally at 6 o'clock.
There you go. Tom Leonard. I'm sure we'll talk a few more times before we get to that primary date. Greatly appreciated, sir. Best wishes out there on the campaign trail.
You got it. Thanks, my friend. Have a wonderful day.
There you have it. Tom Leonard, everybody. He's in the race now to be governor of the state of Michigan. Reading outcomes, something else he wants to deal with. Mental health crisis, something he wants to deal with. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. I have lost track, honestly, of how many people are in the race. After we get through a couple of debates, then we'll kind of pare that down. Tom will make that cut, I would guess. He's a veteran, and he's a seasoned politician. Still to come, Anton Chaikin, author of Who We Are, America's Fight for Universal Progress, Franklin to Kennedy. That's coming up.